All right, so we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and we are waiting for Instagram to catch up. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I am absolutely delighted to announce my guest, someone who is my personal friend and fellow Hay House author. In fact, we have the same Hay House birthday.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, Helen Yaplan, welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So Helen and I have the same Hay House birthday, meaning we were signed on the same day. I don't know exactly what that day was, but I believe it was 2023.
I think 2023.
Oh,
In December, close to winter, I think.
close to winter. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I think it was, I was in Israel at the time.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
went to Israel like the next day, and that would have been like November. Now we know our
Okay.
birthday. It was either like
Yes, around there. It's between November, December. I don't remember the exact day, but it's in winter somewhere around there.
exactly. So we have the same Hay House birthday, and Helen released her beautiful book Aura Color Wheel right behind her. Um,
Yay.
a year before me, because of course then the universe decided to throw a big fire in my path. So I'm sure lighting the way for the perfect timing. But so we almost have. So you have a 1 year old, and I have an infant, barely
That's
born,
right. A
and a,
baby.
a
Yeah.
baby, a baby. So
Yeah.
let me tell you about Helen, my loves. Helen Yaplan. How'd I do? Helen Yaplan.
Yes.
You
Yes.
got that?
Good job. Yeah.
Helen Yaplan is the founder of Helen Creates Beauty and the award-winning author of the Aura Color Wheel, Hay House. She created the Aura Color Wheel, a soul discovery system that helps people identify their life purpose through their soul aura color. I should have worn mine. Mine is emerald green.
I'm green. Yeah.
Yeah. Helen is an intuitive painter, angel channeler. Well, there's our intersection. I also work in auras, so we have a lot of intersections. Certified crystal healer, third generation feng shui master. Definitely going to talk about that. Flamenco dancer. Yay. And I'm a dancer too. I led a dance class all around the world for almost 20 years. So
Yes.
we'll have to dance
Yep.
and host of the Aura Evolution podcast. Her mission is to help 1 million souls discover and live their purpose with greater joy and fulfillment. Beautiful. Well, welcome again. I'm just so happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. And Alicia was on my podcast yesterday, and if you haven't watched that episode, go grab it now.
Absolutely. It was absolutely delightful. And so, and also Helen is a tech whiz. She helped me set up live streams. So I'm going to be doing live streams more often with you now. And you've been doing that for a while every week. So on Mondays at 10 a.m., I believe.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And we both live in California. So there's that intersection as well.
Yeah, we do have a lot of overlap, so
We do
definitely.
have a lot of overlaps. And I found out, so your angelic ancestry is I say ancestry.com for the angelic realm. So
Mhm.
I did my ancestry. Of course, I did my ancestry.com for my human DNA.
Uh-huh.
And it was very boring, the results, because I found out exactly what I already knew, except so I'm half English, half platinum blonde, blue-eyed, English, English, English. They literally came over on the Mayflower, signed the Declaration. Can't get more English. The other side is half Indian, East Indian. There's Doss, but get this, Helen, 1% Chinese.
Wow, that's surprising. Okay.
Right?
So we
Right?
did have some connection there then.
We do. We
Yeah,
do. I thought that was so fun. So fun.
that's
So
interesting. I need to do mine. I haven't done mine yet,
you
so I have no
haven't done
idea.
yours.
Not
Oh,
yet.
it's fun. It's fun. There sometimes there, and like I said, I only had one surprise. A lot of people have a lot of surprises. So, you know what I think is so beautiful? So your book, or the Aura Color Wheel,
Mhm.
you help people find the color of their soul. And in my book, Your Angelic Ancestry, I help people know the name and the heritage of their soul. So it's really finding out more about who we are
At a soul level. Yep.
at a soul level. Yes, exactly. So do you feel our soul has a kind of energetic blueprint that we come into in this life, that we are remembering, that we are reawakening?
Yeah, I totally feel that way. That's why even I call it a cosmic blueprint reading that I channel with Archangel Metatron. One time that I had this insight of that we are all born with a certain blueprint. However, I think as we discussed yesterday, that it's part of remembering, also part of our own creation, meaning that, based on our free will, our choices, the decision we make, we can, either, follow this blueprint,
Mhm.
or we can detour a little bit, experience something else, and then come back to it later. So it's almost like a both, remembering that particular blueprint, what we're born here to do, at the same time experience as a human, that we can have our own experience and our own creations at the same time.
Yeah, beautiful. And that's just me playing around. Like I said, I'm new to this. I'm just playing around with comments. Feel free to say hi to
Hmm.
folks. Um, so your book helps people discover their soul color. Is this a color, do you think, that we're born with, and does it evolve as we evolve and we awaken more? Does our color evolve with us?
Yes, definitely. So that's the cool thing about this system. When I channel it, is that we're all born with a certain soul aura color, and that's the energy that our soul basically incarnated in this body will come with this particular energy.
Mhm.
However, as your soul evolve, meaning that it might be healing some past life wounds. Now it's no longer your wounding, or you already integrate some soul lessons this lifetime that it's no longer your lesson. That means the other aura layers that used to be the weaker layers now become stronger. So instead of being a wound, now they are your gift. So your soul aura color and thus your soul gift archetype will evolve with it. So that's the cool thing. So although like it will change and evolve, but I wouldn't say that it's as often as your mood aura, because
Mhm.
your mood aura, as the name suggests, based on your mood, you can be happy this minute, upset the next minute. So that changes all the time, which I call it the mood aura that's around your face. And there is also the personality aura, and that's around your head. So when you take aura photography, most often than not, that you're taking your personality aura. So that's more like, are you an outgoing person? Are you an introvert? Are you analytical or more intuitive? Now that only changes, I call it semi-permanent, because it only changes when your life event happens that alters your personality a little bit. So that's like semi-permanent. And the soul aura is the most permanent out of the three, because it really takes a few years for us to integrate a soul lesson or like to heal a soul wound. So, most often, based on the people I work with, between 3 to 7 years, evolving into a different soul gift archetype. That's what I've been seeing. Yeah.
Mhm. Beautiful. And for me, I work with auras, have done so for a couple decades now, most of my adult life. And I do see them, but I more sense them and work to clear, of course, the field around the body so that it's because it's much easier to clear things out of the aura so they don't go into the body or into the
Yes.
mind or into the psyche. So for
Hmm.
me, it's very much of a very strong sensing or knowing of an aura.
Hmm.
Also seeing, but the direct knowing is more prevalent for me. What about for you? Do you tend to see auras? Do you tend to sense them?
Yeah. So I think kind of both. But first, most predominant is actually seeing. But when I mention seeing, is actually my third eye. So not your physical eye.
Yeah.
So that's why when I read auras or do spirit message readings, I tend to
Mhm.
like to read the face of the person that I'm reading with. Like, I
Mhm.
don't need to know you. You don't need to be on Zoom with me. All I need is a picture of you, and I pretty much can know your energy feel. That's how I first tune in. And the second, like clairvoyance is my primary, like psychic senses, if you would like
Mhm.
to say that. And that's how I paint also, because I'm a painter.
Mhm.
And when I
Oh, that's very
meditate,
beautiful, beautiful paintings behind you?
Yeah, those are the painting. Those the paintings behind me. Those are all my own creations, and they are actually based on my third eye vision when I meditate. And that's
Mm.
the dragon's eye. Actually, that's my spirit team. A dragon behind a Asian
Ooh,
lady.
look
Yeah.
at this.
Oh yeah, here we go. The dragon and in emerald green. I wonder why.
Right. And you're yellow.
Yeah, that's right. Oh wow. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and yellow.
Yeah,
That's right.
tell them why that's significant. So my color is emerald green, and yours is.
Mine is tangerine. So tangerine orange. So kind of like a yellow orange. Yeah, literally, that's why I'm wearing it. And the interesting thing that I notice is when people wearing that soul aura color,
Mhm,
other people would pick it up, would say that, oh, you look good in that. And
mhm.
typically, when people compliment you on a specific color that you look good in, it's because that's really, makes more your aura more radiant.
Yes.
And as a healer soul gift archetype, you know that you have a really strong heart chakra as well as solar plexus chakra. That's
Mhm,
when your senses comes in because of the gut instinct, and the
mhm,
the clear cognizant also comes from the solar plexus chakra. So that's why yellow green, those are the two strong layers of aura that any healer, and you embody the healer soul gift archetype, that has. So
mhm,
it's also kind of intuitive, you pick it up. And for me, I'm more clairvoyant. It's because I was born as an artist soul gift archetype. And for those of you who are listening in that you are an artist, you know exactly what I mean, because a lot of the artists, if they are musicians, they will say that they hear the music before they write them. And then, like, I see the images before I paint them, right?
mhm.
So that's why it's more of a visual vision. The third eye is more of a strong aura layer. And same with creativity. That's like, the sacral chakra. That's why I have a tangerine soul aura color.
Mhm,
Yeah, it's when I channel it, I find it, oh, this is very intuitive and practical. So it's
mhm,
not, very esoteric, say, per se, like so abstract, because not many people can visually see aura. They kind of sense it, but
mhm,
they also, but this helps them, to have the language, or,
mhm.
to say it explicitly what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, beautifully. I think that's beautifully said. And also, I think people, just like with angels and auras, and anything of the metaphysical,
Hmm.
the higher than the physical, people are more aware than they think they are. Do you know?
Yes.
I think that they're sensing much more than they think. I think people need to be aware that, as you say, we're seeing the aura with our third eye. We're seeing angels in our inner sight. We're
Yes.
hearing angels. We're hearing God talk to us. We're hearing the inner music with our inner ears. It's subtle spiritual sensing that we can learn to hone and to refine so that we start to trust it more. So,
Yeah. I can't agree with you more, Alicia. I think we both also, if you know what I like. You basically reincarnated many lifetimes in planet Earth, and sometimes I even think that in the modern society we just have this attention deficit. If
mhm,
you know what, like, we just like, our attention is occupied by all these phones, all these emails, all this technology, and in
mhm,
the end, we just don't have much time to go within. And that's why we don't hear or we don't see those angels and auras as much. In the past, in Asian cultures, a lot of Asian cultures, when they meditate, they wake up at dawn, they literally go to bed when the sun sets.
mhm.
Those people like sit in contemplation. They just look down to the trees, and that's actually my first spirit encounter. I talk to trees, like, because I went to the mountains and into the woods, because my father likes to sketch. He was also a
Ah,
Chinese painter and calligrapher, so we went to the woods. And I think those are the times that we can connect with spirit, connect with
mhm.
angels, and seeing auras. I see auras of trees all the time because
Yes.
it's so predominant, right? So I
Mhm,
think the modern modern times, what we lack is those. That's why I always tell people, if you really want to open up those senses,
Mm-hmm.
just go meditate, go
Mm-hmm.
into nature. Don't
Mm-hmm.
pack your every single minute every day with activity. And
Right.
also, by the way, I nap, I sleep a lot. When I channel, I sleep a lot. And people think, oh, you're so lazy, you're doing this. I'm like, no, because in order to remain in theta brainwave, in
Mm-hmm.
order to remain calm in that, not that anxious, I have anxiety and depression, I know what it is. So if
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to go in there, that's the only way that you can protect your own energy, and that's the only way that you can sense those. And if your day is just like packed with all the activities, and you sit down and begin to scroll Facebook and Instagram, then
Mm-hmm.
probably you're not going to see auras and angels all day.
Right. No, it's a really, really valid point. Yeah, and by the way, as well, for me, I see the auras of nature, and for me, it's a lot of hearing. I hear the language of nature. I hear the language of the devas, of the nature spirits, just as I hear the angelic language.
Yes.
And so I wrote most of my book outside, and I do think, and of course, the Buddha was enlightened under a tree, and
Yes.
and there's just endless stories of people being communing with nature. And of
Yep.
course, nature is in a collective, evolves to individuation. And
Hmm.
we are the opposite. We're an individuation and we evolve to collective, realizing that we're all one. So I think nature is a very, very big part of our spiritual practice.
Yeah.
Susie has a question for
Hmm.
us. So
Yep.
Susie is a friend of mine in New Zealand.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
yeah, it is beautiful. I think you're still in New Zealand, Susie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think so. Susie's been in tons of my classes for decades. Love Susie. Susie says, can we ask Archangel Metatron to download to activate our soul blueprint daily? Can we
Oh,
ask
yes.
Archangel Metatron to download and activate, I think is what that is, our soul blueprint daily? So she says, yes, that is, she's still in New Zealand. So why don't you take that first and I'll chime in.
Sure. Okay. So I personally actually work with Metatron every single morning to prioritize my day. I'm not kidding. I
Mm-hmm.
love him. He's really good at, helping me maintain the mental clarity and make decisions,
Mm-hmm.
like prioritize my day, what's more important and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
So now I do tend to begin with my day with yoga and meditation. That's my absolutely go to. Like I don't look at my phone. I try my best to do that, and I do that in nature. Just
Mm-hmm.
like you said, I actually do that in nature. Fortunately enough, we live in Southern California. The weather is good, so we have a community park. I just walk outside to the community park. I do my yoga and meditation, and it doesn't have to be long, for me, just 10-15 minutes. And I always ask my angels and spirit teams for guidance before I start my day. And
Mm-hmm.
if that's your intention, Sushi, like in terms of the download and the activate your soul's blueprint, you can pray. Prayer is also a huge deal for my practice. I do a prayer to my angels. Any intention that you want to set, you can ask them for that. And when I mention about this, I actually do offer a reading. It's literally called your cosmic blueprint reading. It's a combination of all like spiritual wisdoms from Vedic to Western astrology, Enneagram, numerology, Gene Keys, human design. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm certifying all of them because I was dedicated to find what my soul purpose is before I write this book. So it was like 15 years of the searching.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm offering is basically a synthesized reading instead of a 250 pages book that you read about your soul. It's only like 20 pages with action plans. So if you're interested, here's a link that you can grab it. You can just check it out. And that's my offering right now. And go ahead, Alicia. So what do you want to talk about Archangel Metatron? I'm sure you have something to say.
Well, Archangel Metatron is said to have been when Enoch was the great grandfather of Noah. So when Enoch, it said, ascended, took his body with him, it said that Enoch became the Archangel Metatron. That's in the ancient text of the, it's in the book of Enoch, of course, which is also called the Sefer HaKalat. I'm probably butchering that because I'm not Jewish, but it's a fifth or sixth century BC or CE um, uh, sacred text. So it's not in the Bible, it's not in all sacred texts, but it's pretty well accepted in spiritual circles and in esoteric circles that Enoch then took his body with him and became Metatron. So, in my parlance, in your angelic ancestry, we all come, as you heard yesterday, we all come from not all, but most of us from the angelic realm. We're evolved to archangels because angels aren't a collective. They don't have individual souls. They evolve to individual souls. And so we then come and incarnate as a human. Now, we rarely go just back to the angelic and become just an archangel. Usually, we're a soul that continues to travel on. But we're in this wondrous time where a portal is open and we can know our archangelic heritage even while we walk the earth. So, saying all this because Enoch, Metatron, really paved the way for us to be both angel and human at the same time. And that now Metatron is uniquely suited to help us with this human experiment, if we will. A lot of spiritual teachers call it an experiment. You can tell it's a little rough around the edges, So Metatron is uniquely suited to help us with this because Metatron was a human, was Enoch, a very profound spiritual teacher. So certainly we can ask Metatron to assist us to activate our soulic blueprint, to help us to reside in the heavens even while we walk the earth. We always want to add for the highest good, right? For the
Yes.
highest good is a great protection for us.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. I actually remember that book. It's interesting because my mother-in-law is Jewish.
Mhm.
So I'm also like you, Alicia. I'm really interested. I'm not growing up religious or spiritual in any way. I'm very traditional family. Just grow up, get a PhD, marry a good husband, that type of family. Okay. So
Yes,
I don't know any of
mine
these.
too. Mine too.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just personally always interested in philosophies, religions, and culture and stuff like that. So when I dated my husband, because his family is Jewish,
Mhm.
I'm really interested in Kabbalah, and actually, it's his mom told me a lot of books about, Deepak Chopra, a lot of those new age spirituality that opened my door to the Pandora box. I'm like, wow, there's so much stuff that I'm interested in this. This
Yeah.
is what I want to study, right? So I remember that particular book when you mentioned how Metatron, have the embody the Enoch and becomes the Archangel Metatron.
Hmm.
And also when I studied my yoga and meditation teacher training, it's all based in Indian traditions.
Mm.
So I also read the Unipancha, basically the Indian type of Bible.
Yeah.
And
Upanishad.
then exactly Apancha. And also in China, it's also Buddhism is really basically the major, religion there.
Hmm.
So like the US is more Christian or, Catholicism, this like the main. So like I also read the Bible, I went
Hmm.
Bible study, though I wasn't, religious. But when I
Hmm.
was when I was college in the US, that's what I do. So after all of that, I also have a summary. It's similar to what you say. I mean, no matter you're in the east or the west, they're teaching you the same. They're talking about the same thing, just
Yes.
using different language. It's
Yes.
like basically like just do good. Your soul is here to evolve. Like that Ten Commandment. It's pretty much like they're just using different language talking about the
Right.
same thing. So I'm like, yeah, this must have truthing it. If pretty much all religion like is teaching you or talking about the same thing, I mean that's it, that's the essence. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter of which path you take or which one you want to believe. Doesn't matter what you name them. Doesn't matter. The main thing is that's what you're going. That's your soul. That's why we're born here as human, to do this lifetime.
Absolutely. I completely agree. That is really our purpose that each of us share is our purpose really is as souls to wake up to the fact that we are divine.
Yeah.
We are, and this earth is purposeful and it's not our home. Our home is really in the soul,
Yeah, about it, and I feel it in my bones. Okay, something is wrong. It's not going well. So even like before I go to bed, I would take like 5 conscious breath and saying that, okay, I meditated today.
Mhm.
So what happened is that, I was in this, I grew up with a just successful driven family. I check all the boxes, get all the A's, go to PhD, blah blah blah,
Mhm.
all that. And
What's
then
your PhD in, by the way?
the degree is in tourism and hospitality management,
Uh-huh.
but the research area is about human experience design.
Hmm.
So, for example, we work with Disneyland, how to use different sensors,
Mhm.
like smell, taste, sight, to keep like tourists to stay longer or return to visit an attraction, something like that. So it's actually really related to human sensory design.
Mhm.
And then later on, I used that in my feng shui interior design business. So that's my second version of the business. Before my Kundalini awakening, before I work with the spirit, right?
Yeah.
So that was my kind of first step. But what really healed my anxiety and depression is literally my meditation. Because after I went into the ER, it was bad. It was panic attack, ER visit. That's my
Wow. You
spiritual
went to
wake
the
up call.
ER because of
Oh,
panic.
because of panic attack and suicidal thoughts. So
Wow.
it was like bad.
Yeah.
But that's in 2011.
Mhm.
And I call it my spiritual wake up call. I talk about
Mhm.
it in my Oracle Wheel book. It's my personal spiritual awakening, journey.
Yeah.
And I was in the ER, and I know that my life cannot continue this way. If I keep on
Mhm.
continue, I pretty much killing myself. It's
Mhm.
just I can't see another way out. But
Yeah.
from the outside, the crazy ironic part is that people think I'm perfect because, like, oh, you're almost graduating, you're going to become a professor, you're going to have a high paying job. And at the time, I also engaged to my current husband, and like, I check all the boxes, and I thought life is happy ever after, but it's like complete BS. And I
Mhm.
have to find my way out because I never really thought who am I, why am I here, and how can I truly be happy, right? Those three questions. It's the 15 years of a self-discovery journey is what brought me to this book.
Mhm.
So, and then it was so bad. And then when I came out, and then I begin to ask those three questions. I said that I need to find the answer. Who the
Mhm.
heck am I? How can
Mhm.
I truly be happy and fulfilled?
Mhm.
So and then I just passed by the yoga studio. That's one of the oldest yoga studio, yoga on Main in Philadelphia. And I still keep in touch with my early teachers at the time.
Mhm.
First time when I meditate in a group, I felt something was bigger than me holding me the whole time. And that's my first spiritual contact. I have no idea, later on, I know Mother Mary was there with me. Like I felt home the first
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
And from then on, I got addicted to meditation. I literally have to do it 20 minutes a day. And
Mhm.
magic happens. 3 months after my daily meditation, I was able to take off all the anxiety and depression at the time.
Wow.
Think about how serious, like I'm talking about, you went to ER, I was on meds and they have side effects. But
Mhm.
3 months of my daily meditation, I do not need to take. I'm tapering down. I begin to taper them down. If you take
Wow.
those you know what I mean. You cannot just get them off immediately. So like from 20 milligram to 10 milligram to 5 milligram to nothing. Until
Mhm.
this day, I'm still meditating, no
Mhm.
pill at all. And but the good thing is I'm aware when if I feel I'm anxious, if I feel I'm depressed, I know the state of mind, and
Mhm.
I know which visual frequency to listen to. Now I have the toolbox. Okay, now I need to listen to this frequency,
Yeah.
and that's going to heal me. That's kind of my spiritual awakening call.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I have a similar thing in my past of dealing with the same, not to that extreme, but I think that's because I found spirituality at a very young age and moved into an
That's
ashram
right.
at 23. And yes, for me, I do like addressing the psychology, and I have several degrees in that, and I like to work with that too. So we address the whole being, but my heart and soul is really as a mystic and addressing the spirit. And if I don't meditate, I feel like I don't know. I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if you're hearing that.
I do not hear anything.
Okay, well, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But I find that if I don't meditate, like I just feel like some part of me is a bit anxious. Like there's something that I'm missing. I'm not connected to myself in the way that I know I can be. And for me, meditation, I do a practice called spiritual exercises. So as I mentioned, I'm half East and half West.
Yeah.
So I'm a Christian ordained minister, and I'm equally committed to my Indian path of mysticism, which also has Judaism and Buddhism and Hinduism and everything kind of thrown in. Because to
Hmm.
me, as you mentioned earlier, all paths
Yeah,
lead.
all paths leads to enlightenment, literally. And
Yes.
this is still my motto, live by today. And I actually wrote it on the first page of the Oracle Wheel book from Lao Tzu. He says that knowing others is wise, but knowing yourself is enlightenment. And
Yes.
it is all it is. It's like knowing about yourself at a soul level, who you
Hmm.
truly are. And
Hmm.
he called it the path towards enlightenment. It's because at a soul level, we are light. We are that bowl of light that we make up of that, the seven energy centers that power the seven aura layers. And the rainbow of light, when it's combined, it's white. And why? So that means all the seven aura layers, no longer, none of them is your weakness. That means you already heal your wounds, you already learn your lessons. And that's why Buddha and Jesus Christ, when they walk the path towards enlightenment, their aura is white or golden. Why they have white or golden is because it's completely purified. In their auric field, there is absolutely nothing weak. And that's the light, that's the path towards enlightenment, is because at the soul level we are light. And that's the merge with the angels, literally, like that. That's becoming you are literally becoming the angelic realm, right? So that's what I see. And yeah, when I channel this system, and that's the code, like that's the code almost immediately dawn on my mind. Okay, wow, this is the path towards enlightenment. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And yeah, as we connect with our archangelic selves, it is angels are made of light. They are
Yeah.
they are light bodies. It's called a
Yes.
Merkaba. So connecting to our angelic ancestry does help us connect to that self that is essence, because angels are not physical. They can
Hmm.
enter a human body if, especially if someone's in danger. We there's lots of miracle stories about the firemen who woke people up and they were saved from the electrical fire, and there's no fireman, because it was an angel entering a human form. So they can enter the human form, but their essence. And so connecting to them and experiencing them helps us connect to our own angelic essence, our own essential selves. And
Hmm.
while we're in a body, we don't have to wait until we pass to know that.
Yeah, that's actually that happened to me in 2018, and that's
Mm,
literally like 7 years after my daily meditation. That's in 2011 is when I begin to do that. But at the time, I did not think of, I'm going to connect with the spirit realm or anything. I literally just want to heal myself so that
mhm,
I don't need to take so much medication.
mm,
That's all.
yeah.
So, but my life already between that 7 years, I become a feng shui interior designer. I connected back to my grandmother and my father's upbringing. And
Mhm,
I'm already a lot happier because I know that I need to become an artist, soul gift archetype that's in alignment with my soul's purpose. And then in 2018, when you mentioned that, like my Kundalini awakening, that's when my crown chakra pop open. And that's when I begin to see all the light. And I actually confirm, I work with a lot of angel teachers to make sure that I'm not going, like I'm not going crazy, that I really am seeing angels and, in the
mhm,
spirit realm.
mhm,
Is that I confirm with a lot of mediums, angel channelers, and, people who work with the star beings and things like that. All of them have confirmed that they are light bodies. Like it's not like we don't see there's feature like there's eyes and mouth and things like that. We people personify them. Like to draw them or paint them in a like a personalize them.
mhm,
However, when you really tune in, all you feel is that bowl of light. That light might have different color, might have different energy, different feeling, but at the end of the day, it's light body. And while you're ascending, while you're working on your soul's aura layers, And that's what you're getting closer and closer to. And that's, by the way, what's raise your vibration really means. Like people always call, oh, you need to raise your vibration so that you can match the higher vibration. And the higher the vibration you are, the base level frequency you are, the easier for you to get in touch with the angelic realm. And that's also why we need to meditate. If we don't meditate, our frequency, the anxiety and depression, those frequencies are really low. It gets us back down to the matrix, the 3D stuff. So that's why, meditation, if like I don't do that, I feel like something is missing. And that's exactly what it is. It's like almost like spiritual hygiene. Like we need to, if we do spiritual work, we need to keep our hygiene high so that we can keep connecting with the source. If we have the disconnection with the source, we cannot channel that light anymore.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And so speaking of that, when as we connect to who we are, it's really a process of remembering. We're really not discovering anything. And knowing your aura color, and for me, knowing your archangelic name, it's
Mm-hmm.
all ways to know more of our essential self, know more of
Yes.
our soul, but it's really remembering of who we were when we were born from spirit, but now then taking all this experience back to God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, as you work with angels, how does that intersect with your auric work, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so I love that. Actually, in my book, I also have a chapter about talking about angels as well. But I throw in all these traditions in the part three.
Uh-huh.
So this system, first of all, if you haven't taken the soul oracular quiz, the easiest thing for you to identify your soul oracular or your soul gift archetype is just to take the quiz. Because this quiz, the questions are also channeled. So when I'm writing them down, I do not use my conscious mind. If you take the quiz, you know that there is one option that you can choose a bracket of birthday numbers. And when I wrote down those birthday numbers, I really thought that I'm going nuts because like I'm like spirit, like I want to make sure that I'm not going to the mental hospital again. So that's golden because it means that really I cannot come out with this precision of dates and times what's going on. So when you take the quiz, it's about 6 minutes on average. A lot of people have already taken it. So that way, you first identify your soul oracular and your soul gift archetype. Now that tells you three really key important information about your soul. How do you work with this system? It's first of all, you identify what are the aura or what are the light, your light body. There are 7 aura layers. What are the strong aura layers that you are born with? You already born with strong aura layers. And then, for example, I was born with sacral and my third eye super strong. And, Alisha is born with the heart chakra and solar plexus super strong, right? Everyone has something that you born strong with. And that's the soul gift that you need to use to be of service. So that way you can be fulfilled and exchanging abundance, so that's least resistant. So that's the first thing to find out. And also, in each soul gift archetype, there is an archangel that works with you. Like, for example, in the artist soul gift archetype, Archangel Gabriel works with the artist. If you are, if you take also, Alisha does a quiz, which I did. And guess what's my archangel angelic, history, heritage? Archangel Gabriel, right? So, like, that's why, so each archangel also has worked with a group of a particular soul gift archetype. So like, for example, Archangel Raphael works with healers, Archangel Gabriel works with artists. So you kind of understand that. And once you take the quiz, you understand what's your strong aura layer. You also understand what is your wound. We are all born that has one aura layer, that's our wound. Otherwise, we won't be humans. We can just stay in the angelic realm because we are white. We're just floating around. However, because we all have a wound, so that's why we need to heal that particular wound. For example, when I was born, because I'm more of an orange, aura layer, my soul wound is in the blue aura layer. My throat chakra, like if I the the Helen you're meeting today is Helen 5.0. If you meet the Helen 1.0, she cannot even speak because you know
Really?
that yeah, the Chinese girl, well, she talks, but she is confirmative, she is
Mm,
agreeable, she
mm,
said yes to everything her parents says. She never say no to what the society's themes is not appropriate, right?
mm,
And that's why her soul chose to be born in China, where women cannot speak. Your soul even chose the place of birth based on what lessons you need to heal, what wound you need to heal this lifetime. And so now you know, okay, so now I know what I need to use to be of service. Now I know what wound I'm here to heal. I also have 3 lessons. So those are neither really strong nor really weak, but they are something that you need to heal, either your limiting beliefs, either your childhood traumas, some emotional things that you need to deal with. Then you get the pieces of information. Okay, so if you resonate with the reading, if you resonate with this reading, then you can go a little bit deeper to identify if I heal this particular aura layer, I can become a different soul gift archetype. So, and remember, like Jesus Christ and Buddha that walk the enlightenment path, they embody all 9 soul gift archetypes at the same time because they can become a healer in 1 minute to heal a soul and become a teacher in the other minute to spread wisdom and becoming and visionary to lead a troop of people to finish a vision. It's because they can, basically transmute into any soul gift archetypes at the same time. So that means that if a particular soul, which I see some people work on these aura layers and really learn their lesson and heal their wound, is that they have multiple soul gift archetypes at the same time. They are able to manifest super fast. So
mhm,
these people are not called lucky. It's not about luck. It's about because their vibration is high, their base level vibration is high. That's why when they manifest things become really fast. So that's like kind of the process if you know like how to use this system and work with your auras. And in chapter 2, I list all the ways that you can heal a particular aura when it's out of balance.
Beautiful. Thank you for all that. That was very rich. Um, so let's talk about purpose for a moment, right? We all want to know our higher purpose. And so if so in my book, once one remembers their archangelic name, of which we have one name, that's a clue into our higher purpose.
Mhm.
And so if one were to discover their archangelic name, their purpose beyond many lifetimes, and their soul aura color, how do you think those two understandings could complement each other?
Yeah, I definitely so as I mentioned, once you kind of know your soul gift archetype and your soul aura color, you actually know which angel to work with almost. Like which archangel. So like for example, the I personally also work with Archangel Gabriel when I
Mhm,
channel my book, right? I'm sure you work. So it's like once you know your angelic ancestry, so which archangel are you, it gives you also the clue of what your soul is born here to do. It's almost like your soul gift archetype, like what you're strong with. Are you the protector? And that's the warrior soul gift archetype, right? Are you a creator? You're here to create, lead, and be the joy leader of the planet, right? The
mhm,
like the Archangel Gabriel. Or are you here to heal, right? And
mhm,
so that way it helps you to get out of your shell, which it helps me a lot to bust that imposter syndrome. Especially if you are born with an archetype that's not so what do I say, like societally approved. That you're
mhm,
not a scientist, you're not a lawyer, you're not born one of those, like you're born an
mhm,
artist, you're born a healer, the softer side people call it.
mhm,
Then you will say that I'm not sure, if I'm good enough to do that. I'm not sure. It's because the society is telling you that if you're doing that, you might not be able to make money. That's the
mhm,
actual what's underlying thing of it.
mhm,
Now I'm a walking example. It took me a lot of guts to quit my PhD. So basically, not becoming a professor, not getting
mhm,
that, 6-figure job, right? Instead, instead, I know that I need to be doing something creative. I am walking to raise, I'm telling the universe, hey, I'm going to become an artist. You better help me because you told me that this is my path, right?
Mhm.
So now you can work with the angels or your angelic ancestry. Call your ancestry line in. Call that power in within you. You tell them that, okay, now this is like I'm fully going to step into my true self. Like help me manifest some magic and literally expect miracles. So what happened to me, I think I shared that story with you, Alicia, yesterday, is that I went to an event with all the creative entrepreneurs. That was my first event in Philadelphia after I get out of the academia circle. That's what my comfort zone is. I'm really not very comfortable, but I like them. I like all the creative people. I just not very comfortable for me.
Mhm.
So I just jump in and everybody introduce themselves. And I would tell people I am a feng shui interior designer. And there was one lady really resonate with my energy, a Brazilian lady approached me and saying that, hey, I have a new wedding gown showroom in Center City. I need someone who designed the space. Do you want to come and design my space? And I said that, oh yeah, sure. Now you absolutely cannot have there was not even a single minute in my belief system that I do not trust it, because I was like impersonating all my angelic and history, I think, there. And I'm like, okay, sure. Every project that I do requires 2,500 deposit. She wrote me the check right there, and I keep the check to this day to prove to myself that if you rise, you literally act, you choose to act according to your soul's gift, you actually live that, the universe is going to deliver. And
Mhm.
I still keep that check today. And that was the deposit. That's ever like, I'm like, okay, look, mom, I'm telling my mom when I go home. So I don't have to become a professor in order to make money. I can become an interior designer and still make money. And that was like, I pushed my first feng shui interior design business. That was called C Beauty Design at the time. And I reached $1 million in revenue just after 7 years. But then after my Kundalini awakening, Helen Creates Beauty comes along, my business changed direction. But I'm
Mhm.
just telling you that that's the power,
Mhm.
within you. That if you actually take action, appoint it, you are going to see the results. And so go forward. That's the beginning.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I underscore that and a million times. Like, and we are in need of people who know more about who they are and who are saying yes. It's not about feeling ready. It's about feeling
you are
called.
right.
It's
Yes,
about
right.
feeling called. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, this book, I was trying to write it for 20 years and working professionally with people and getting all kinds of results. And yet I wasn't writing the book. And then suddenly a portal opened and it all just came through. I got the two-book deal with Hay House, and it's been magical. I went into reprint on pub day, not because of me, but because a portal is open and people are ready. Don't you find that you can talk about this with people in a way you never could have 5 years ago even?
I totally agree. I totally agree. Like this is so important too also. It's almost like divine timing when you mention the portal
Mhm,
opens.
mhm,
Yes, in one way that you need to choose to step in the truest version of yourself all the time, no matter
mhm,
what. But
mhm.
at the same time, you cannot expect a timeline or a certain result. Like you cannot attach to a particular outcome. Let me put it that way. You just need to do that. Like you do the work all the time, but it doesn't mean that the timing in terms of publishing the book or that's opening yet. The
Yeah.
same with my book deal. Actually, that's funny because I never signed up Hay House newsletter, although I read a lot of their books. I never signed up the email newsletter. And all of a sudden, I receive an email from Hay House and saying that, oh, we have a writers community. If you want to write books with us, you can join and submit your book
You
proposal.
just
And I'm like,
received this email out of the blue. You don't even know why.
yeah, that's right. Exactly.
You didn't
So
even
it's like,
sign up for the list or anything.
no, not
I
because
love
I received so many
that.
emails. Like I can't have like promotional emails anymore, right?
Yeah.
So and I just did a detox of all the email box, and I just saw that email.
Right.
And the thing is that, but the whole time I was doing this work already. I was like teaching that in my Embody Your Life course. Like you said, like I use this system to help a lot of my clients, and I was already doing that. And I'm channel writing this system. I just haven't thought about the next step yet, and the portal opens, right? Then that's your natural step. But the thing is that you already need to be prepared. It's almost like the opportunity also hands to those who are prepared.
Yes.
You just need to do the work already. You cannot just like wait around and, if universe is not showing me a confirmation, I'm not going to do this work. It took me also, that's what was the other pivot. That was also hard because I was quite comfortable. I have really good clients. I don't need to do social media to run my feng shui interior design business, right? It's like it's profitable, and I got really comfortable. And all of a sudden, spirit said that no, you need to up level again. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I'm good here. Can you not go there, right? And then said no. This is another assignment. So if I do not, if I like my free will choose to resist and stay in that place, I don't think I would publish this book. I don't think we would have this podcast. It's a different timeline split. Like I'm doing something else. But I'm sure down the road I would have regretted. And what happens is that another dark line of the soul, hey, this throw it in your way, and you are going to course correct. I might have done it probably 10 years later. I would have done the same thing. But that's kind of the human experience. What's the free will, or are you going to be in alignment with your soul's purpose, right?
100%. And angels are not born with free will. They evolve to it when they're an archangel. That's why I say they have to be an archangel to survive in this human level,
Yeah,
where we do have free will, we do have free choice. And it really can be such a challenge. And I don't think we're allowed to get too comfortable, because when we do, then we're not really growing. I know, for this was not, as I shared yesterday, this was not the book I wanted to write. This was a book I was born to write. I wanted to write something accessible and safe. I didn't want to walk around going, you're an archangel in the flesh, right? But that was the book that came through me. And so I agree, we need to do our work, but I don't think we're ever going to feel ready. I rarely feel really ready for the next step, but then we just do it and we go, but my soul was ready. My spirit was
that's
ready.
right. Your spirit and your soul knows better. That I feel the same way. I think every time when I'm doing something new and exciting, just like literally when before my book published in July last year, May was my first opportunity to get a solo art gallery show. Now I've never done it. I've done art gallery show, but collectively, but I've never done one on my own. And of course, the opportunity comes up, and I have to say yes to it. Like it's a natural progression that you need to do it. However, would your soul say, yeah, your soul is ready for many, many lifetimes. Like, would you say that, you're ready? Maybe not. So, but you still need to jump up to do it. And the same, when I write this book, I thought like, I wanted to publish a book, but I thought my book is more like a coffee table book, with a lot of pictures, maybe a few words of wisdom, and that's what I visualize it. I did not know that I'm going to channel write like a 300 something pages textbook, and I'm like, really? So that was like, what? Just like I'm so resonating what you're saying. It's like you never feel like you're ready, or you never, whatever comes out, never feel like what you plan, or what you plan it to be, but you just have to jump on it anyways, because that's the truth. When I finish writing it, because like when we become the channel of truth and wisdom, from the divine source, and there's nothing wrong about the creation itself. Like you just feel like, okay, this is perfect as it is. We're just becoming a channel, or almost like a servant to what has to come through, right? So that's exactly how I felt. Wow, we have so much. I think people who are like in this stage, or become a channel or servant to higher source, we feel the same mission. That's just how it is, And still, every day right now running this version of the business, it still surprised me. There was something new comes in. Okay, Helen, no matter you're ready or not, don't get too comfy. Let's go.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I just got invited to speak in New York and I don't feel ready for that, Times Square and it's like, yeah, but the one that doesn't
Oh,
feel ready
Alicia.
is not the one that's doing it.
Yeah.
It's the one that moves through all of us. And really ultimately, we all have the same message,
Yes. Yes.
right? Wake up, we're all love, right?
Yes.
We're all so my last question, this hour has flown, is if people were, or my second to last question, but if people were really knowing their archangelic ancestry, if they knew their aura color,
Mhm.
how do you think this world would be a different place?
Wow, that's like it's literally will light up the world. That's also on my, like I said, that all the light workers who are on your path embody your light, and together will light up the world. We become a huge super light bulb. Like if everyone is just expressing authentically who they truly are, using their gift to be of service of the world, this world is like there is it's freedom and peace and love, one love, because there is no competition. Your only competition is yourself. There is not like there was no there you don't need to compete with anybody. You compete with yourself only. And it's such a peaceful place because everybody's doing what they are supposed to be doing, and it's so happy. Also it's joyful because you're literally doing what you were born here to be, and love. Because when you're doing this, what you're radiating is actually love, and that's the energy. And I think the whole planet Earth is going to raise its vibration, like collectively. And who knows, we might make some friends from the other planets too.
I think that's guaranteed.
Yep, yep.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Helen, well, how do people find you and your book?
Yeah, definitely. So everything I offer is on helencreatesbeauty.com. So under free resources, you can see a lot of the resources that I offer there. And the books are sold anywhere you buy books. And if you are ordering the book, I am offering three bonus gift for people who purchase the book. You are able to join a private Facebook group where I host monthly live Q&A and spirit message reading for you. I will see who are your spirit guides, what messages they have for you. It's almost like a private book club, like you work on this and you have people to ask questions for. So you're never alone. Because I know soul evolution is a kind of long path. So I don't want you to feel like you're alone on this path alone. And also, because I'm a feng shui interior designer, I'm offering also a personalized feng shui birth element and gua number reading when you purchase the book. So that way you understand your lucky directions for love, abundance, health, and spiritual growth. So that way you can decorate your home, that's according to your natural element. And lastly, when you get the book, you are able to receive $50 of the Rainbow Aura Meditation Bundle. And remember, meditation is how I get from point 0 to 5.0. So that's why I want to give you all the gift of meditation. So everything I offer is on there. Now, the only thing I want to mention is that I do have an upcoming event. It's actually my biggest annual online event that I offer to my community. Um, that's called the Discover Your Soul's Blueprint. So it's on August 28th. It's a contribution based event. I'm going to drop the link here. Maybe I can, Alicia, you can also put it in your show
Of course,
notes.
of course.
Yeah. And this is on August 28th. Recording is included. It's from 9:30 to 11:30, 2-hour online experience where everyone who are able to join me live, you're going to identify kind of your soul's evolution blueprint. We're using the oracular wheel system. So you'll walk away with your soul evolution blueprint. And I'm also going to do a guided transmission from my spirit team and see what messages you need to receive. And if you are live with me, you're able to get a chance to also receive a reading from me as well. So hopefully I will see you there live.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Well, thank you for this wonderful time together. It's been so lovely to connect with you more and, celebrate our book birthdays now.
Yes.
Our kids will be playmates, our book babies. And so thank you again for this, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And truly, may you live your love. See you back here soon.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
having me, Alicia.
you. Thank you. Take care, everyone.